Hello, my merciful brothers and sisters. It is I, MisterMercy, and I wanted to talk about this whole Alex Maurer versus Imago Softworks versus YouTubers thing that's been going around. I initially wasn't going to cover this because it seemed like all the other YouTubers, like SidAlpha and Total Biscuit, they pretty much had it covered, and it wasn't something that I really wanted to fan the flames on by reporting on it. Because as I've said before, like, this is not a drama channel. I don't like to, kick up the fires and get people all riled up. So, as always, though, with drama like this on my channel, and I've done this for the past with things about, like the YouTube censorship controversy and the YouTube Heroes controversy, this video will remain demonetized for eternity. And run ad-free as to respect the situation at hand and not profit off of it in any way. So, if you've been living under a rock for the past few days, let me give you a brief summary of what's been going on. And I'll also link SidAlpha's video in the description, and I have an iCard on screen if you want to have a more detailed look at what's been going on with this whole thing. So, this is the deal. Alex Maurer is a composer who was under contract by a video game company called Imago Softworks to create the soundtracks for their games Star Mazer and Star Mazer DSP. This contract gave Imagos the copyrights to the music, and Alex was supposed to be compensated for her work. However, the way the contract between Imagos and Maurer was handled, it led Maurer to believe she was being screwed out of money she was rightfully owed by Imagos, but instead of pursuing Imagos directly about this, Alex instead issued DMCA takedowns on various unrelated YouTubers, both large and small, who featured Star Mazer and Star Mazer DSP in their videos, claiming that she would rescind the takedown notices if the YouTubers affected would get in contact with Imagos and basically settle her dispute with them. Now, due to the way YouTube's DMCA system works, Alex has severely put a lot of channels in serious danger of being shut down permanently by issuing multiple DMCAs on the channels at once. I believe you only need 3 DMCA takedowns to be on your channel at a time before YouTube just totally shuts down your channel and gets rid of it. And she was issuing 2 takedowns sometimes on the same channel at once. So if they already had a previous withstanding DMCA takedown that they were dealing with, that channel would have been gone. That channel would have been deleted. So she put a lot of channels at risk by doing that. And she also took the music she composed for Star Mazer and Star Mazer DSP and released it privately on her own Bandcamp account, charging the ludicrous price of $1,000 for the album. And of course, since by the nature of the contract, Imagos actually owned this music, they issued their own DMCA takedown notice to Bandcamp against Maurer, and the album was removed. So initially, when I first heard about this, I figured it was just another digital homicide instance of someone in the industry just feeling like they can abuse the YouTube DMCA system to get what they want, and I was outraged just like everyone else. I initially found out through Jim Sterling and his video on the matter, and I was so livid at this situation that I had half a mind to attack Alex Maurer for how shitty she was being. But of course, Jim advised against it, so I held back. Of course, there is more to the story, and there's a whole bunch of, other developments that have happened since then. And again, check out SidAlpha's video if you want to know more about what's going on. He has a bunch of videos actually up about this whole thing. But the most recent development in this story is what prompted me to make this video. So, SidAlpha posted a video about 8 hours ago, as of the time that I'm writing my script here for this video, where he showed that Alex Maurer was sending him death threats. Now, I'm not going to go into detail of what they said, but I will also put a link and an iCard up for that as well, so you can watch and see where I'm coming from with this video. You can watch his video and then come back and, my reactions to it will make a bit more sense. So, it's only about 3 minutes long, so by all means, pause the video if you want and go watch it, and then come back and listen to what I have to say about it. So, after seeing that video, all the rage that I had towards Alex Maurer had just turned into understanding and pity. Now, I'm not about to excuse her actions. They were still bad actions, and she needs to know that they were bad. But seeing Alex lash out at SidAlpha like that really hit home for me, and all of a sudden it all made sense. And I intend to make statements to both the YouTubers that have been covering the story and Alex herself, because I cannot stay silent on this, and I have to try and clear the smoke the best I can. So first off, I'd like to address the YouTubers that have been talking about this. I'm talking SidAlpha, Total Biscuit, and Jim Sterling for the most part. I'm sure there's other ones that have been covering it the same way, but those are the three most prominent ones that have been covering it. And I'd like to start by saying that I like you guys. I like you guys. I respect what you do for the gaming and YouTube communities. You stand up against injustice and use your influence to keep the gaming industry as well as YouTube in check. And there have been many times where I've rallied beside you and fought alongside you for all kinds of things. When Digital Homicide thought it could sell shameless asset flips to make a quick buck and then later sue 100 Steam users for calling them out on their shady business practices, I was with you. When EA tried charging $50 for a Star Wars Battlefront Season Pass, I was with you. When brash games fucked with their writers' livelihoods by refusing to properly pay them and then destroying whatever boost their work for the site gave their resume by removing their names from the articles, I was with you. When T. Martin and Pro Syndicate tried to hide the fact that they owned the very CSGO gambling sites they promoted in their videos to their subscribers, I was with you. Hell, I was even with you on this very issue that I'm talking about right now, until today. You see, while I know you have all made it clear throughout your videos that you don't support the witch hunting of Alex Maurer, and some of you have even gone out of your way to look after her well-being, you have officially lost the right to act surprised that things have turned out this way. Because when you bring attention to this issue and put a big spotlight on a big injustice such as this that's going on, something that unless the person watching is personally affected, they can't really do anything about, what do you think the outcome is going to be? Your videos purposefully make people angry at the situation and get them riled up. That seems to be the entire point. And with the anonymity of the internet, of course they're going to attack the person, regardless if you tell them not to. If someone is angry enough at the situation you've brought in front of them, they'll just look at your asking to be civil and not harass the person as a sort of superficial way of being politically correct. That you're basically just saying it because you don't want to look like a douchebag, and you would look like a douchebag if you did say that, or you didn't say that, I should say. And in all reality, you really do want your viewer to rain down their fury upon them, but you just can't come off as if you do. And Jim Sterling witnessed this firsthand. In his initial video about the subject, he included an email address to a representative from Imago Softworks named Lindsay, which he showed in the video. And he said it was only to be used if you had received a DMCA takedown for your Star Mazer or Star Mazer DSP videos. And people, his subscribers, his viewers, didn't even bother to notice that the name Lindsay was in the email address, and instead thought it was Alex Maurer's email address and sent a torrent of abuse and harassment towards it. Now, if this doesn't highlight that people are in too high of an emotional state to listen to you plead them not to harass people and actually take that request seriously, I don't know what will. And I think you guys think too highly of your respective fan bases. A vast majority of them cannot be trusted to be mature and act responsibly when it comes to scandals like this with a very specific figurehead attached to them. It's different, though, when the enemy is nameless and faceless, such as a big company like Konami or Ubisoft. Because even if immature fans decide they're going to harass those companies on the internet, those companies won't really be bothered by it, because it's not going to make the guy or girl running the social media accounts, or even like the CEOs or shareholders, become suicidal or mentally unstable, because they're going to be the bigger person. However, the second a name of an individual person is dropped and marked as the evildoer, that's it. Now all of that rage and anger you've just stirred up through inflammatory comments, calling them pieces of shit, not necessarily saying that you said that about Alex Maurer, but I've seen in the past other things where you've deliberately, said these kinds of things about people. and that gets people riled up, and that's just going to get directed at that one individual, and the larger your fan base is, the more of it pours through the floodgates. So telling them not to do it doesn't do a damn thing except put the idea in their heads to actually do it, because it's reverse psychology at its finest. So don't expect your fan base to listen to you when you tell them to refrain from harassment. Expect that they will do that when making your video, and ask yourself if that has the potential to really emotionally scar the person at the center of it all. Because if it does, for the love of God, keep their name a secret. You can still report the story without sharing that information. I mean, you look at, stories on the news when especially like when minors are involved. They do that to protect the livelihoods of the children involved. They don't release their names. So, you can still do a similar thing. You can report the story without putting a name at the center of it all that people, can go attack, to vent their frustration about the whole thing. So now that I've talked to the YouTubers, let me finally speak to Alex Maurer directly. Alex, I know you probably don't want to listen to me because I'm a cis white male, but let me tell you, I have the most amazing male-to-female transgender girlfriend in the world named Fate, and I absolutely love her to death. I've been fighting right beside her for the past 3 years, and I support her gender more than anyone she knows. I've watched her suffer as her entire state of Oklahoma shunned her time after time after time, and watched it absolutely destroy her. Now, I may not be transgender myself, but I speak with fucking authority when I say I know what you're going through, and I'm truly, deeply sorry. What you did wasn't right, and I think you know it wasn't right, but I don't hate you for it. There's a lot of injustice in the world towards people from all walks of life. I mean, I myself suffer every day with my sexual orientation. It's one that's so taboo and hated that every time I go out in public, I can't look someone in the eye without thinking that they'd want to see me lynched and hung for who I am if they knew the truth about me. So, Imagos wasn't trying to screw you out of money for being transgender, Alex. I can tell by the way you lashed out at SidAlpha that this is what this all boils down to. You're transgender and you feel like all of this is another attempt to suppress you and discriminate and mistreat you. It's not, I can assure you. It's unfortunate with how much harassment you've received for your actions and how it's made you suicidal and mentally unstable, and personally I blame that entirely on how poorly YouTubers have been handling the situation. And this all could have been avoided if you just dealt with Imagos yourself, Alex, in court if necessary, but I'm here to say it's okay. I understand why you made the mistake of attacking YouTubers instead. You felt helpless, alone, and frustrated. Now, obviously, you will have to pay for your actions now. Like I said, just because I have empathy towards you and can sympathize with your situation, that doesn't mean you're absolved of all wrongdoing, but hopefully you hear this message and know that I'm sorry it's gotten to this point, and if you ever want to talk about what's troubling you and you need emotional support, there's my Twitter on screen. Anything you say to me will be off the books. No journalist will ever get their hands on it. It's private, confidential stuff between me and you. I'm here to offer you a hand in friendship because I'm Mr. fucking Mercy, son. That's just what I do. But anyways, that's all I had to say. So remember, guys, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I'm MisterMercy. Peace, everyone.